Welcome back to the Sly Guy TV. You're watching the Sly Guy, Kaboom, Kaboom, and Super Kaboom, oh yeah. Kaboom, oh yeah, Kaboom, oh yeah. Here we go. It's Maidon. Come on, Adon. It's the Armageddon. Armageddon will destroy all the lands, destroy all the creatures, destroy all their plants. Everybody wants to be destroyed. Destroy their lands.
So
yes, we will. I have offended you again, so I guess this is the end. Because everybody knows you're such a snowflake and you're just quite upset at every single thing we said. Everybody knows it's all just in your head. Wasted feeling, going, speaking. You know why you've crossed the line when I said that you were mine. Going skiing, no hard feelings. Since you will not be my girl, this is the end of my own world. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Sly Guy TV with the Sly Guy, old school magic here, right here in the bird. Now, we've got Armageddon. Armageddon is a super powerful deck which we use to destroy all lands. Using this 4-cost mana spell, Armageddon normally combines with Llanowar elves and with mana creatures just like these mana birds, the birds of paradise and Felwar stones. Armageddon was also a direct sub-in for White Weenie. Yes, White Weenie would play small creatures, crusades, and Armageddon to destroy all lands, but it worked more effectively as the big creature Geddon variant. Now, I remember this deck very clearly in high school because I believe I was around the second year high school when I tried using the deck, and I tried building the deck at that time. So what I needed were Swords of Plowshares, were Jolrael Centaurs, Nettletooth Djinn, Metendalion, and Armageddon. So Mirage just came out, and I wanted to have a full suite Armageddon deck. Now, the problem was Armageddon back then was sold out everywhere. None of the stores had them. People would just snap them up, buy them, and resell them because it was the beginning of a reseller movement, and I did not know any resellers at that time. So it made it very, very difficult to get a playset of Armageddons. So during that tournament weekend, I was forced to actually play the deck without Armageddons, and it became just like a white-green aggro deck with Jolrael Centaurs and the Metendalions, and use Swords of Plowshares as elimination. Now, since most of the players at the time were already using Armageddon, I mean, it was disadvantageous to them to use Armageddon on me because I had most of the mana creatures in play. I had really fast creatures in play. I got Erhnams. I had Nettletooth Djinns. So normally I would get creatures out faster and did not have to get on. By the time that they got their big creatures out, I had multiple big creatures out, and I ran way faster than them. So in the end, I ended up making it to the top 20 until eventually getting eliminated by a nasty Necro deck, as Necro was really powerful at the time. Correct? So that's basically a story there, and Birds of Paradise, the mana birds, is one of the best mana producing creatures ever. So going back to Erhnam the Djinn, Erhnam was one of the biggest creatures back then for the cast, a 4/5, okay, which gave one of your creatures or opponent's non-wall creatures Forest Walk until the next upkeep. Now, this wasn't that detrimental because most decks would use either City of Brass. We wouldn't actually have Forest. You'd have Brushland or City of Brass. And the cool thing is, combined with Armageddon, you'd blow up your own forest. So his creatures wouldn't have Forest Walk at all. And you'd have a big creature, you'd attack with Erhnam, you'd attack with Sarah, you'd attack with Nettletooth Jin. It was just wild, and it was just super, super insane at the time. Okay, so moving forward to modern days, Armageddon has fallen out of flavor. ErhnamGeddon was reprinted in Judgment, but it wasn't as strong as it was during the early days, as this was a time when Roar of the Worms and Call of the Herds were available. Wild Mongrels and Psychotogs were all around the place, and suddenly the powerful, beefy ErhnamGeddon was no longer as useful as it was before. The day of ErhnamGeddon was done, and other creatures such as ErhnamGeddon, ErhnamGeddon, and eventually by the time a Judgment rolled around, Geddon was no longer in standard. So goodbye forever Armageddon. It remains now in the annals of old school Magic, where old school decks play it. Old school decks love the Erhnams, love the Armageddons, which is why we currently play old school, because we love the old cards. They actually look like Magic cards made by wizards. So that's why we love them. And here is a sample of the Armageddon deck I have. So as you can see, those are the ErhnamGeddons right there. Those are the Armageddons. Those are the Beta Armageddons I have, and the Arabian Nights ErhnamGeddons, which I currently have on my deck. Yeah, we see it right there. The Geddons, man, the ultimate combo. Normally, I'd start out with the Birds of Paradise or a Soul Ring. Yeah, it's always best to start out with the Soul Ring. Then second turn, play an Erhnam. Third turn, play a Birds or play a Sarah, and then an Armageddon on the fifth turn. Or you can also, you can automatically just play an Armageddon on the fifth turn, if you feel like it. Land tax helps you recover. Regrowth helps you recover. Yeah, there's that Soul Ring. And what the hell is he doing there? Juzam the Jin got lost and wound up in my white-green Armageddon deck. And what's Juzam doing right there? Not 100% too sure. Okay then. So as you can see up, those are the scrublands, or savannas, sorry. Scrubland is white-black. Savannas are white-green. Yep, you've got the mana producers right there. Dual lands that fit right into the deck. And right there, you can see, yep, those are the mana producing artifacts. Yep, you've got your Lotus, Birds of Paradise, and the Moxin to add mana to your mana pool. Whirling Dervish, yeah, I forgot about Whirling Dervish. Whirling Dervish actually was the bane of all black decks. If I could get a Whirling Dervish large enough, the Necro player had a difficult time. There you go, Legends Land Tax. Got your Soul Ring, Unlimited Soul Ring right there. And you basically just use that to wreck your opponent with a huge ErhnamGeddon. I actually like that deck and how it played. Aggro, and then blow up the world with Armageddon. Aggro land destruction en masse. Most of them use strip mines, but to me, strip mine in an Armageddon deck was just redundant, because you're gonna blow up all their lands anyway, so why waste a land slot for strip mine when you'd rather save that for actual lands that you can use to cast Armageddon. And of course, rounding it up with disenchants. We have barrage disenchants. I really should get those beta or unlimited disenchants if I have them. There you go. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Once again, this is the Sly Guy TV with the Sly Guy, and we are signing off right any minute now. Right now, yeah. Here we go. It's a cover. These two are brothers in arms, and Juzam and Erhnam are brothers. They come from Arabian Nights, and you could see that little guy is scared. I have offended you again, so I guess this is the end. cause